Right. Guys, I saw something that threw me off a little the other day. I was behind a car in traffic, and it had a bumper sticker on it. There's a paw print of a dog. And it said, "What happens in the dog park stays in the dog park." What are you confessing there? And that's a creative way to confess it, too. And in a public park, you weirdo? It's that stupid Las Vegas slogan, too, that gets put in contexts that it doesn't need to be, you know? Like, I heard it one time that whatever happens in some place stays in some place. I was in the grocery store. It was right after Halloween, so they're, like, trying to get rid of all the candy, you know? And the guy comes on the intercom, he says, "Head over to the candy aisle for half off all items, because whatever happens in the candy aisle stays in the candy aisle." Like, now I'm creeped out thinking that there's a pedophile in the candy aisle. I'm just trying to get my groceries. I don't know. I get creeped out easily. The thing is, I have a lot of fears, and most of them are, like, completely irrational. Like, they're not the things I should be scared of. Like, every time I go to my car, I always check the back seat. Because I've seen so many horror films as a kid, I'm convinced there's a killer in there waiting to strike. That's stupid. There's never a killer in the back seat. That's stupid, but I still text and drive. It doesn't make any sense. God, I'm scared of spiders. Is anybody here scared of spiders? Yes. Yeah, they suck. They're awful. And there's a whole bunch of them in the bushes around my front porch, which is a problem because that's where I like to go to smoke weed. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to blow smoke into the webs. Because I think if I get them high, they'll be my friends. It'll be like a Charlotte's Web scenario. I blow the smoke. I come out the next day, written in web above my door. It just says, "One chill dude." I'm like, all right, cool, we're all right. I had a pretty real scare the other night. My girlfriend got sick, so I took her to urgent care. And one of the tests that they ran was a pregnancy test. And the nurse, they do the test, the nurse goes away, she comes back a little while later, and she comes in, she goes, "So, did you want positive or negative?" Who asks like that? Come on. Like context clues. If we're at urgent care at midnight on a Tuesday, you should know which result we were hoping for. It's weird, man. But my girlfriend's awesome. She totally has the upper hand. I'm an idiot, and she deals with it. Like the other day, I was leaving the house, and I said something stupid, just being an asshole, and she yelled back at me, "You're gonna get a lot of passive-aggressive texts later." I misheard her. I thought she said passive-aggressive sex. Which to me is way worse, because nothing will destroy a man's confidence faster than if he's in bed with you, he's like giving it his best shot, and he gets down in your ear and he says something stupid like, "Oh, do you like that?" And you say, "It's fine." We had a fun conversation. We're learning a lot about each other. She's Asian, and the other day we were out in the sun and I got a little burn. And a few days later, it, like kind of peeled off and it turned dark. And she looked at me all weird. She was like, "Babe, it's like you have to burn to tan." I said, "Yeah, that's just called being white, babe. Like, that's how that happens." Because people say black don't crack, some people say Asian don't crack. Nobody says white don't crack. Because white not only cracks, white burns, cracks, then peels. We're like snakes shedding our skins. Freudian slip. Black people, you'll appreciate the reference. Snakes, man. Now, like I said, she's Asian and I'm white, and she recently just confessed to me that she's only ever by choice dated white guys, like as a preference. And I thought that was weird to have like a racial preference that you stick to, but speaking as a dorky white guy, it's kind of nice being somebody else's fetish for a change, you know? People see us in public, they're like, ah, look at this big white perv, we know what's going on. I'm like, no, it's the other way around, nobody ever believes me. I've never even watched an anime. I don't, that's not my thing. Oh man, I don't know, we live together though, and we have a very like small bedroom, and it's like, it's hard when you live with somebody, just like you have to be able to get away. I read an article the other day that blew me away. They said NASA has told us that they've had married couples who are astronauts, like both up on the International Space Station at the same time. And I'm like, that's pretty ballsy, because if you get in an argument, what are you going to do? Go outside? Like, no, there's no getting away from it. But people in the press have also asked, they're like, hey, married couples on the space station, has anybody, you know, like, done it in space? And NASA gets all coy about it. They won't confirm or deny, because apparently whatever happens on the space station stays on the space station. I heard the other day, this blew me away. I was out getting coffee, and I heard an old woman behind me in line, like a woman in her 80s, say, my kid, to like whoever she was with, she goes, my kids will be amazed, I figured out how to use the Uber. I was like, oh man, that's so funny, but it made me scared. I'm like, shit, what's that statement going to be when I'm that age? Because be like, my kids will be amazed, I figured out how to use the hologram phone, or my kids will be amazed, I figured out how to use the flying drone car. Or like, my kids will be amazed, I used the correct gender pronoun without having to ask, it was incredible. Saw a few uncomfortable faces, it's happening, get with it, that's the future. I don't know, I fear technology, it scares me. We really don't have that much control. And it hit me the other day when I was in my car and I was sitting parked because I was sending an email or some shit, but I still had my key in the ignition but the engine was off, and all of a sudden the music died. All the wipers start going haywire. All the electronics on my dash start going nuts. The thing that really scared me, the locks on the doors started going up, down, up, down, up, down. And I thought, oh crap, this is it. Machines are taking over. This is the uprising. This is how it happens. I turned the key in the ignition to try to start the engine, and all of a sudden it just stopped. Everything stopped, silent. The car was dead. And when I realized, oh, I'm stranded 5 miles from home right now, that's when it hit me. The machines don't have to rise up. That's not how it's going to happen. All they have to do is go on strike and we're fucked. My GPS cut out one time when I was on my way here. I got lost. I've been here before. That's not okay. That is terrible. I've recently decided I don't want to be a sports fan anymore. And some of you are like, bullshit, we saw you watching the hockey game when you came in here. I don't want to do it anymore. It's crazy. It's just too much heartbreak for like nothing. And I realize professional sports are like a religious cult. You go to the same place to watch a game with a whole bunch of other people once a week. You all dress the same. You chant the same chants. You know, the professional sports teams have covered up the same amount of sexual assaults as the Catholic Church. It's the same. And sports fans aren't even creative with their chant. Whether they're cheering a player or heckling them, all they're doing is saying their name with just different emphasis. Like Joe, our host, they'd be like, if you're cheering for him, you're going, Joe, 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 Joe. If you're heckling him, all you're doing is going, Joe, 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 Joe. I'm gonna keep doing this, Joe. Sport, it's ridiculous. It's too much heartbreak. It doesn't help that all of my home teams suck, too. And being a fan of a bad home team, that's like being stuck in an old school Catholic marriage. You get into it when you're too young, you don't understand how the game's played yet, you just pick one that's close to you that your parents like and you stick with it. And it's even worse for me. I'm an American soccer fan. We didn't qualify for the World Cup this year. That's why I'm against all of Trump's immigration policies, because I want these kids. I want to qualify for the next tournament, okay? And it's not, I can't watch football. My home team's the Washington Redskins. Not only do we suck, we have the most racist name in football. Eventually, like, now it gets to the point where I defend, like, anytime I try to defend my team to other fans, I just sound like an abused wife. People say, how can you support those racist losers? I'm like, you don't know them like I do, okay? Thank you, guys.